Take it to trial. Take it to trial. Welcome in, grab a seat, hit the like and subscribe. Cause Sweet Peas on the mic with that spicy little vibe. Got the courtroom streaming in the chat, going wild. We're debating heavy topics, but still laughing like a child. From objections to confessions to the judge's side eye. If it's justice and it's messy, we gon' talk about why. Every day's a new case, every moment's a ride. And when Sweet Peas in the building, we be learning with pride. My eyes on deck, keep the room running smooth. Film freak therapist, you know, keeping everyone in the groove. Rachel with the facts, pretty brown girl with the sass. Moreldia and Fowler keep the peace in the chat. But Jason walks in and the ladies collapse. Chocolate. Take it to trial, where the truth gets loud and the laughs run wild. Sweet Peas got the spice, she's the queen of the aisle. Chat fam rolling deep, we've been here a while. Lights on, mics up, we gon' do this right. Take it to trial, every day, every night. Take it to trial. Morning shows are sharp, afternoon is on fire. And we catch every moment that the court might inspire. From witnesses whispering, the lawyers trying to hard. You know Sweet Pea breaks it down like a legal tarot card. Chats cracking jokes, dropping theories on the fly. We're serious when it counts, but we still testify. Minds hold it down when the trolls try to play. If you're out of line, court adjourned for the day. But when Jason logs in with that deep hello sound, the ladies in the chat, man, they all fall down. Take it, 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 take it to trial, where the truth gets loud and the laughs run wild. Sweet Peas got the spice, she's the queen of the aisle. Chat fam rolling deep, we've been here a while. Lights on, mics up, we gon' do this right. Take it to trial, every day, every night. Take it to trial. When the sun goes down and the cases get deep, after dark gets spicy, no secrets to keep. Taboo topics, big laugh, slap, happy crew. Sweet Pea says behave, but we never really do. It's opinions, confessions, stories untold, but we handle it with heart like the chat made of gold. Hey! Take it to trial, from day to night and every wild mile. Sweet Peas nearly strong with her trademark style, and the fam in the chat always makes it worthwhile. Turn it up, show some love, hit the like on sight. Take it to trial, yeah, we live tonight. Take it to trial, yeah, we live tonight. Take it to trial.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Marilda. Good morning, therapist. Oh, I got the hiccups. Oh boy. I don't think that means that I'm going to grow anymore, but whatever. I got them. I'm gonna have to hold my breath. Remember, they used to be like, hold your breath, count back first from 30. I don't know what happens. Do they just be hoping that you're gonna pass out? Whatever. Hey, Dandy, good morning. Hey, Lexi, good morning. Allison, good morning. Good morning, Tanya. Good morning, Brooklyn. Brooklyn in the house. Did I miss anybody? Good morning, therapist. I don't know if I said your name or not. I'm trying to go scroll down the thing. Let's see here. Good morning. Good morning to all of you guys. So, dun. Today is the day. Today is the day. Today is the day. Today is the day. I guess, maybe. My question is Brian Walshe going to say something? And do we even want him to say something? Is there anything that he can say? I'm just curious. Maybe I'll put out a poll for that. Because I'm just wondering, like, can he say anything? Is there anything that he can say to us? I don't know. Has he ever said anything besides what we have heard on the recording call or on him pleading not guilty? Have we heard him say anything? Hey, OnlyFan, good morning. I'm just curious. I don't think I have ever seen him say anything. Lexi said, all I want him to say is, what did he do with her body? We may not get that. Oh, happy birthday to Myra. Oh, terrible twos. They're running. They learning how to walk and moving very, very fast during this time. Let's see here. So, of course, the courtroom has not, they don't have nobody in there just yet. We just looking at the nice little clock. We waiting on the hear ye. But I did want to show y'all this. Let me see if I can find the clip. A juror spoke out yesterday, or one of these days. Don't quote me. I wonder, will any of them come to the sentencing? Because I think they're allowed to come in there. Let's see here. Hey, good morning, Maddie. Let's see here. I am going to share that screen. Why they're not in court yet. So as soon as they come into court, then I'll take us in there. So we won't miss a moment of it. I need some cold, and I do mean cold water. Okay, let's listen to what this juror, I just seen this earlier today.
Observe what happened to her that night.
A juror on the Brian Walshe trial is speaking with us over Zoom about finding the Cohasset man guilty of first-degree murder.
What led you to the guilty verdict?
The testimony and evidence.
The group of 12 rendered its verdict Monday after 6 hours of deliberation. Prosecutors presented evidence that Walshe killed his wife Anna 3 years ago in their Cohasset home, then dismembered her body and dumped her remains, which have not been found. Walsh's defense attorneys argued he found Anna dead in bed, suffering a sudden unexplained death, a claim the jury apparently did not believe.
His story about that she had sudden death in bed and he panicked and got rid of her body, the jury did not believe that. So it wasn't really a question of whether or not we would find him not guilty. It was more a question of murder in the first degree versus murder in the second degree.
This juror tells us while some considered second degree, they reached agreement that there was premeditation.
At any point when this was happening, or even right before, Brian could have made a different choice. He could have stopped.
She is heartbroken for Anna's 3 children and hopes her family and friends will find some peace.
I pray that her friends and her family are able to find some closure. I feel terrible. Anna's children will have to bear this for the rest of their life. It's just chilling.
Now you may
So good morning, I am. Yeah, so just so y'all aware, that was one of the jurors that spoke out in regards to the Anna, in regards to their verdict. And it kind of confirms what we already knew, that they were trying to decide between M1 and M2. So I am going to put a poll in there to see if anybody wants to hear him speak. I don't know if there's anything that like he could say. I mean, I know besides that. Hey, Miss Anita, how are you? Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, probably so. She says, hello, one and all. Hope all of you are having a great day/night. I bet the reason that they delayed the sentencing of Brian is so they could get everyone who wanted to make impact statements could be present. Yeah, probably so. And I think that they were really trying to make sure that the boys, the children, their statements were taken care of appropriately. I know they were trying to make sure they got the statements, however they're doing them with DCFS or whoever they're in custody with. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like we're still looking at the clock. I'm going to go ahead and share that screen for us. Or maybe we're not. Shoot. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know why that does that sometimes. Oh, okay. Okay, 9:13. Okay, good. I just want to make sure that we are completely in there so we can get into the courtroom as soon as they have it. Yeah, so I put that. He presents egotistical at times. Hearing other people say nice things about him is probably the last positive thing that will happen in his life. He's licking his chops over. I wonder who you think his mama gonna speak. Oh, that probably will be a better question. Would a mama get up there? I don't know. I don't know how they work that in. Tanya said he is never going to tell what that body is because it'll show how she passed away. You know, that's definitely got a lot of truth and ringing the bell to it, but they probably can't find it. Like they probably can't find her. I'm pretty sure she has been. I don't know. Do they burn their trash in Massachusetts where he was at? I wonder why after they convicted, they still let him come in there dressed to impress. Like he should come in orange. Like orange is the new black. I wonder if Mama's there.
Please be seated. All right, I have two motions up here, one from each of you, and I'll address those in a minute.
You are unmuted.
So let me start by, excuse me, taking a drink of water. Let me start by listing what the court has reviewed in preparation for this sentencing to make sure that everything you think that I have reviewed, I have in fact received and reviewed. So I've received the parties' sentencing memos. That comprises one sentencing memo submitted, I think, yesterday or the day before, late in the day before, from the Commonwealth. The defense has provided a sentencing memo along with a supplement that I received this morning. I think that was filed yesterday after the close of the business day. I also have received various victim impact statements in writing to include victim impact statement on behalf of the 3 minor children from the Department of Children and Family Services, DCF. I've also received victim impact statements written from Alyssa Kirby and from Peter and Pam Kirby. And I sought out and shared with the parties and have reviewed various sentencing commission information, as well as guideline calculation from probation, as well as Mr. Walsh's carry and triple I, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And I've now just received and will review, prior to deciding my sentence, a letter from Diana Walsh. As an initial matter, is there anything that the parties submitted that I didn't just now list that you expected me or want me to review before sentencing? Kamal first.
Your Honor, there will be a victim impact statement given by Anna's sister, Alexandra Dimitrovic, and she's prepared to give that to the court.
Okay, but as far as written materials, any other written materials that you are hoping me to review before I impose sentence?
No other written materials, and I just want to note that FTR is not on at this point in time, and I don't know if the court needs that on. I know we have a court reporter and we're in good hands, but sometimes we've been running both.
All right, I thank you for pointing that out. We do, when we have the court reporter, that is the primary method of memorializing the events, but always good to have a backup, and I see that Madam Clerk has put it on now. For the defense, are there any other written materials that you wish the court to review?
You have everything.
All right, let me just take a moment to review this letter.
Why? Why didn't they have this to her last night so she could have read this?
All right. Thank you. We'll start with the Commonwealth's presentation of whatever victim impact statements that you wish me to hear orally.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah,
The
whatever.
Commonwealth would ask Alexandra Dmitrovic to address the court. Would you like her at the witness stand or from the podium?
In the witness stand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. You may be seated.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, everyone. My name is Alexandra Dmitrievich, and I'm the sister of Brian Walshe. I am here today to represent myself and my mother. I want to share with the court how losing my sister in January 2023 has forever changed our lives and left us with an unbearable emptiness. Losing my sister Anna so unexpectedly has altered our world in ways we never imagined. Anna was not just my sister. She was someone I grew up with, someone who knew me in ways no one else ever will. I struggle with the grief that comes without warning, hoping every morning that this is all just a terrible dream. The most painful part of this loss is knowing her children must now grow up without their mother's hand to hold. They now face a lifetime of milestones, big and small, where her absence will be deeply and painfully felt. This tragedy has also devastated my mother. She has developed severe depression and chronic exhaustion. Every single day, she carries the weight of losing her daughter. Our entire family is still learning how to live with this emptiness. Holidays and birthdays are now silent reminders of her absence. Because of the circumstances of my sister's death, we were denied the opportunity to say a final goodbye and to observe our customs, adding a layer of profound, unfinished grief to our loss. Anna was a mother, a daughter, a sister, and a friend. Her life was unfairly taken. We miss her beyond words. While we recognize that no sentence can bring her back, we ask the court to consider the permanent, long-lasting impact this loss has had on our family, especially her children. We stand in agreement with the Commonwealth and their recommendations. Finally, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to the investigators, the Commonwealth's office, and everyone who has worked tirelessly on this case. Your dedication to seeking justice for my sister has provided our family with a sense of support during our darkest hours. Your Honor, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share the full weight of this incomprehensible act. Anna will never be forgotten. We will carry her light and her memory with us forever. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Sorry.
Your Honor, we have no other victim impact statements other than the ones that we've submitted in writing.
All right, thank you. All right. I have read the Commonwealth sentencing recommendation, the written recommendation, but I'll have you state it on the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Commonwealth is requesting that the defendant be sentenced to a series of consecutive sentences on the charges to run from and after his federal case in which he received a sentence of 37 months in February of 2024. The first charge that the Commonwealth would seek an incarceration component on is count 003, and that the defendant be sentenced to 2.5 to 3 years. The second charge would be that he, on the misleading 002, to run from and after 003, that he receive a sentence of 18 to 20 years. And that the third charge, the murder in the first degree, that the defendant be sentenced to life without the possibility of parole to run from and after 003 and 002. And Your Honor, if I may be heard in our argument.
Please.
Thank you, Your Honor. When you look at the facts of these three charges, each one calls for a harsh penalty. If you look at the illegal conveyance of a body, the defendant did not just, the person that he illegally conveyed was his wife and the mother of his 3 children. And he did it by removing her remains from the family home and placing them in buckets, in garbage bags, in dumpsters around the Commonwealth. He denied, as you just heard, her family the opportunity to have any customs or burial. There is no grave, there is no memorial. And he did this all in an effort to destroy evidence. On the misleading component, Your Honor, while we do mention the potential of probation, we put that in there only as data so that you understand the efforts that went in to trying to find Anna based on the defendant's series of lies. These lies were all done in an effort to cover up his crime and destroy evidence. We're also, while we put in that, we are not seeking a probation sentence, but we put it in there so the court, if it wanted to contemplate one, understood there was an option to do it that would prevent the defendant potentially from trying to profit from this.
So the only mechanism for me, I see it anyway, the only mechanism for me under the restrictions of state law,
Yes, Your Honor.
it's an either or situation. That is, either I incarcerate him for an additional period of time, either concurrent or consecutive, or I put him on probation following the life sentence, or maybe it even starts today. But the only way that restitution can be achieved on count 2 is through a probationary sentence. So I don't think there's any other mechanism for me doing that. So I don't know how you achieve that goal if without a probationary sentence and mandating it as a condition of probation. And so I want the Commonwealth to be clear with me. You're making note of it in passing, but you are not asking me to put him on a probationary sentence. Is that correct?
We are not, Your Honor. It is data that you can use in order to determine the scope of his lies in which the police relied on them. And you can see the costs that went into investigating the disappearance of Anna Walshe, but we are not asking for probation on this matter.
And the same question with regard to the issue of restitution that I heard rumblings of yesterday.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same result?
Same result. It is, again, it's data for you in determining your sentence, but we are not asking for it.
All right, just wanted to be clear on that.
Thank you, Your Honor. And then on the murder, again, this was the murder of his wife and the mother of his 3 children. And the cover-up of this murder, Your Honor, deserves some analysis. If you look at the first internet search, which occurred at approximately 4:52 a.m. on the 1st, how to dispose of a body, and how they evolve into eventually 11:24 a.m., how to dispose of body parts after a murder, it appears the defendant at this point in time is committed to getting rid of evidence of the crime. And it leads to the shopping sprees later on that night at Lowe's and CVS and Stop and Shop. However, if you look at the internet searches on the second, how to dismember a body, and is a hacksaw the best tool to dismember a body? It's a reasonable inference he hasn't started the action yet. And it results in the second shopping spree to Home Depot that afternoon, which means that Anna Walshe has been dead in that basement for over 24 hours. The same home his children are in, the same home the babysitter's at, the same home his mother has come to visit. And in the evening between the 2nd and the 3rd is when the dismemberment occurs. And on the 3rd, we see him going to dumpsters, getting rid of the remains. In the defendant's sentencing memo, and I want to note, the defendant was represented by 2 excellent lawyers who are titans in this industry, who I have the highest respect for. They say the Commonwealth's recommendation is inhumane. I suggest that that's not the appropriate word choice, because if we were to look at that word, I would suggest that that describes the defendant's actions and the depravity of his actions of murdering his wife, dismembering her, and getting rid of her remains by throwing her away like garbage. The question might become whether or not this is a cruel and unusual punishment that the Commonwealth is recommending. And I direct your honor to one case. It's Cepulonis, CEPULONIS versus the Commonwealth, 384 Mass 495 at 497. It's a 1981 case. To reach the level of cruel and unusual punishment, the punishment must be so disproportionate to the crime that it shocks the conscience and offends the notion of human dignity. I don't know if that's possible in this case, Your Honor, because human dignity was completely offended by the defendant's actions and how he treated his wife, how he disposed of her, and how he robbed her family and friends of the opportunity to bury her. There is no death certificate. The church will not allow a funeral to go on at this point in time. We are working on trying to work with the ME's office to see if we can get a death certificate to issue now based on the conviction and based on the plea. And when I looked behind me after the closing arguments, I realized that that was the closest thing that those people had come to a wake, because they never got together to mourn her. And that happened 3 years later. So with that, Your Honor, the Commonwealth does make a punishment that we recommend to you. We recognize it's harsh, but we think it's appropriate based on the facts. And I appreciate your time, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll hear from the defense.
With respect to the first-degree murder conviction, although we made it clear from our memorandum that we do object to a life without parole sentence based on state and U.S. constitutional grounds based on the Eighth Amendment, we understand the court has no discretion. With respect to indictments 2 and 3, you do. I think inhumane is the right word, respectfully. To sentence someone to prison posthumously to send a message is humane. It's dehumanizing him. Regardless of what happened in this courtroom, regardless of the convictions, regardless of what anyone believes about this person, he is a human. He is a father, he is a son, and he has been a friend to many. The life sentence is mandatory, but to do consecutive sentences, I think, is inappropriate and is inhumane. Anytime there is a death, a murder, a loss of life, it is horrible, whether it's a loved one or a stranger. And the legislature has provided, regardless of our disagreement, that a life sentence without parole is mandatory. But that does not negate that he is a human being. And I don't think sentencing him to on and after time is appropriate. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. What he was convicted of were atrocious acts. We've heard from her family, we've heard from her friends. Their pain is unimaginable, and I'm not demeaning that, but I have the opportunity to speak for Brian today. And I'm asking the court to sentence him in line with the guidelines and with the purpose of sentencing: punishment, justice, prevention of future crimes, consecutive sentences. That's excessive and it doesn't meet those needs. So I'd ask the court to adopt the defendant's sentencing recommendation.
Just want to put on the record that the defendant, in making its argument with regard to the inhumane aspect of any consecutive sentences, cited to a case in its brief, Donovan. Donovan does not apply to this case. As an initial matter, Donovan related to a larceny involving a single act that resulted in 7 different victims being victimized. The SJC, that was I think a 1985 case. The appellate courts in Massachusetts have long since distinguished Donovan, even in the case of larcenies, which is not the case that's before me, to recognize that even Donovan relates only to a single act case and not one with one purpose. As you could argue, there was one purpose here, but more than one discrete offense. So I'm not persuaded by the logic of Donovan, even if it applied to this case, and even if it was as broad-reaching as the defense suggests in its sentencing memo, which the court finds it is not. There is no task facing a judge that is more important or more difficult than crafting an appropriate sentence. The legislature mandates that the only appropriate sentence for the jury's verdict, murder in the first degree, is life in prison without the possibility of parole. That sentence is immensely appropriate and just, given your murderous acts and the life trauma that you've inflicted upon your own children. As to counts 2 and 3, I have wide discretion in sentencing. I want to state my rationale for your sentences on those 2 counts on the record now. I have considered various factors with regard to my sentence for counts 2 and counts 3, to which you pled guilty on November 18th, 2025. Specifically, I've considered the severity of the crimes, their nature and circumstances, and your role in those crimes, the need to deter others from committing comparable crimes, and your prior criminal record, namely your federal fraud case. As to the latter, your criminal history shows a long and well-documented history of deceitful and manipulative behavior. I've considered your character or lack thereof, your behavior, and your background. With regard to the nature and circumstances of the offenses, as to indictment 002, in the approximately 4 hours of interviews spanning 4 days, you concocted a detailed, completely fabricated story of what happened to Anna Walshe on January 1st, 2023, in order to cover up your murder of her and disposal of her body. Your lies triggered a multi-day, extensive missing persons investigation. A command center was set up in Cohasset and was manned by various law enforcement, to include the Cohasset Police Department and the Massachusetts State Police. And local and Massachusetts resources were deployed to Washington, D.C. to investigate at Anna's home. Because of your lies, thousands of hours of investigative resources were wasted and diverted from other deserving cases and investigations. As to the nature and circumstances of count 3, the improper disposal of Anna Walshe's body, the seriousness of your acts cannot be overstated. Your acts in dismembering your wife's body and disposing of her remains in multiple area dumpsters can only be described as barbaric and incomprehensible. You had no regard for the lifelong mental harm that your criminal acts inflicted on your then 2, 4, and 6-year-old sons, not only in taking their mother, but also, as is specific to this charge, in never being able to properly grieve that loss, to say goodbye to their mom. And I hear today the same is equally true of a sister who never was able to say a proper goodbye to her sister, a mother who never was able to say a proper goodbye to her daughter, and many friends who had the same loss. As to indictments 2 and 3, I have considered the sentencing guidelines, the aggravating factors. There are no mitigating factors in this case. And I also sought out and considered information from the Massachusetts Sentencing Commission, again, which I shared with the parties earlier this week, in particular sentencings in 2022 and 2023 of defendants who were convicted of murder and or voluntary manslaughter, along with a Chapter 268, Section 13B conviction. This is not a guideline case. Finally, as to the first-degree murder conviction, I have considered the loss of the life of an innocent, remarkable woman, Anna Walshe, and its devastating impact on her children as relayed to me in the letter from DCF, her family as relayed to me in her sister's victim impact statement today, friends in their victim impact statements, and the community. In the trial testimony of Jem Mutlu and Alyssa Kirby, a little bit of Anna Walshe, her warm, powerful, and embracing spirit came to life in this historic courtroom. I have carefully listened to the moving victim impact statement, to the oral written sentencing arguments made by the Commonwealth and by Mr. Walshe. It's clear to me that Anna was a bright light in the lives of many people. She lifted people up. I am sure that nothing I say and no sentence I can impose, even a life sentence, will lessen the grief that Anna Walsh's family, her mother, sister, and 3 boys, extended like family, confidants, friends, and others have endured and will continue to endure. Although I consider the letter of Diana Walshe, I simply cannot reconcile the person Diana Walshe describes in her letter with the person who stands before me for sentence. Mr. Walshe, you can stand. Mr. Walshe, you will live with the guilt and burden of Anna Walsh's death for the rest of your life. As to count 1, the jury having convicted you of murder in the first degree, I sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole. As to indictment 2, lying to the police in connection with the investigation of a life felony, I sentence you to no less than 19 years, no more than 20 years, the statutory maximum, in prison to be served consecutive to the life sentence in 001. The legislature caps the maximum sentence for the improper disposal of a body at 3 years in state prison. As to indictment 003, the improper disposal of the body of your wife, Anna Walshe, I sentence you to no less than 2 years, 364 days, and no more than 3 years in state prison to run consecutive to the sentences in 001 and 002. I want to make one other notation with regard to the sentences that I'm giving today. Earlier in this case, I identified that there was an error in Mr. Walsh's III. That error persists to today. Specifically, so the record is clear, as I understand Mr. Walsh's prior federal sentence, he was sentenced to 37 months in federal prison. That sentence was to run concurrent with any state sentence that was given in this case. This morning, I asked probation to run his III again, and it is still incorrect. It is showing a 5-year probationary sentence. At my direction, the probation department in the last month, or perhaps a little bit longer, contacted the federal probation office in Boston to correct what I think is an obvious error in his III. It has not been corrected, and it stands still today as showing 5 years of probation as the sentence. To the extent that confuses anything in my sentencing, I want the record to reflect that, again, it's my understanding he was sentenced to 37 months in federal prison to run concurrent with this sentence that I'm now imposing today. Madam Clerk, you may impose the sentence.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Walsh, a jury having returned a guilty verdict on charge 1, murder in the first degree, you were sentenced to the state prison for the term of your natural life. Count 2, witness intimidation, you having entered a guilty plea to that, sir, you're sentenced to 19 years, not less than 19, not more than 20 years, to run from and after your life sentence on count 1. On count 3, improper disposal of a body, you are sentenced to not less than 2 years and 364 days and not more than 3 years to run from and after the sentence on count 2. You will receive 1,076 days credit for time deemed served while awaiting the disposition of this matter. All fees and fines in this matter are waived. You're all set, Mr. Walsh. Thank you.
Thank you, counsel.
Well, that's something. You all set?
Madam Clerk.
Talking about click.
Goodbye.
Well, that was very quick. That was way quicker than what I expected. I thought that we were going to be here all day. Yeah, let allow you all set. Like, she had gave him something. I don't know, Judge Shamrock. Good morning. How are you? Wow. So I don't know if y'all see the poll that I just put in there, so I can kind of know what direction we heading in today. I really didn't think that was going to end that quick, but it did. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get that off of here before it. They did show the mom. Oh, why didn't they? Did show the mom, Marilda. She was watching as her baby was walking past her. Okay, let me see what our survey is at. Okay, it look like we going to the cruise ship. All aboard. Okay, let me get us a room set up for our cruise ship. SD, did you see anything in regards to a verdict for the lip filler? I didn't see anything. I just want to make sure I'm not missing it, because I will miss some stuff. Okay, let me get our our room set up. Give me 1 second, guys. What did she say? I'll keep an eye out. Okay. Okay. I got it on. So I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. But clearly I have not. I wonder what's taking up so long. Wait a minute. I'm trying to. So just so y'all aware, unfortunately, now me personally, I have to go back to the beginning of it. Only because guys, I haven't really watched any of this one. And I know yesterday was an additional day in regards to this custody hearing, but it's to my understanding a lot of information came out in the first one. So I do want to make sure that I understand the who, what, and where, and why. Okay, I can do it at 8. I had to put the time in. Sorry. Create. Okay, now I got it. Cool beans. Did my mouse just die? I think it did. I think it did. That's the one thing I don't understand about these computers. Like, why is this not touch screen? I can't get nowhere because my mouse didn't die. I'm so like, I can't throw it out the window because I'm gonna need it. And for the life of me, oh, I think my charger is in the other room. Oh, dude. That seems so weird. It usually tells me battery getting low. I don't remember that. Okay, connection. Okay, it say connected. Maybe what am I doing wrong here? What the heck? You know, responsible people would charge their stuff at night, not me. Oh, here it go. I'm like, what the heck? Okay. StreamYard. Okay. Yeah. Like, Beezy, who got time to be responsible? And second of all, who wants to be like adulting when they supposed to adult? Like, I don't want to do any of those things. Not I. Okay, drunkie. Have a good, safe day. We'll be here. Okay, so guys, I dropped the link for our new room. Right? I dropped the link for our new room. We'll go in here and start watching this custody hearing to kind of get caught up on this, to kind of to understand what this is all about. As you are moseying over, putting your seatbelt on and going over there, I will play our outro song for everybody. and start getting things set up in the other room. All right, guys.
When Sweet Pea taps in, you know the courtroom lights go bright. Trials running long, but the family's here every night. Mars on patrol, chat is showing out. This little YouTube corner's what community's about. Therapist you know, steady holding down the floor. Behind the scenes magician, keeping peace like never before. A bandit king, a rule keeper too. Every channel dreams of a mind like you. Jason walks in and the ladies lose control. Down to earth king with the warmest soul. Film freaks, kindness, man, it's always on display. Fair and sweet and cheering folks along the way. And Aurelia from SA keeps the laughter rolling free. Joking, shining, keeping spirits where they need to be. We're a family in the chat, side by side through every trial. Sweet Pea leads the way with that fire and that smile. We debate, we laugh, we lift each other higher. This courtroom crew is everything we admire. Yeah, no matter what the case or file, we're forever taken to trial. Take it to trial. Pretty brown girl should tell you what's true. Sharp as a gavel, funniest in the room. Dr. Rachel pops in while she's busy running lines. Speaks her mind every time, cuts through like a knife. And Fowler brings the energy, jokes flying fast. Helping Sweet Pea backstage, making every stream last. Then Zach's chosen, causing chaos just for fun. The resident cheater, but we love him, everyone. Here comes Maddie, handsome, quick with the line. A comedy sniper with the perfect timing. And Lynn with the updates, always loyal, always tuned. If true crime news drops, he brings it to the room. We're a family in the chat, side by side through every trial. Sweet Pea leads the way with that fire and that smile. We debate, we laugh, we lift each other higher. This courtroom crew is everything we admire. Yeah, no matter what the case or file, we're forever taken to trial. Take it to trial. Shamrock keeps us trending, replay queen. Holding down the algorithm like a machine. SD's razor sharp, loyal through and through. And yeah, she adores chasing nothing new. Drunky the bear with the white claws, way managing volunteers like she runs the whole land. Cynthia brings inside with take sharp and steady. Donna keeps it real, 911 and always ready. Tilly Bird's the fat queen, receipts on tap. Easy's new, but she blends right into the pack. Tennessee, hard live, try support her with pride. Melly shows up a family for cooking for his dog. A steady carrying presence through the courtroom fog. And Brooklyn in the house, always bringing that spark. Lighting up the chat like a shout in the dark. Barker loves her gram, speaks truth when it's time. Micrograms with metaphors straight up sublime. Barbara biggest supporter, heart kind and vast. Looking for missing kids, hope that truly lasts. Only fan from Singapore, flag name but sweet. Still shows up with love every time he takes a seat. And even the part-timers keep this place alive. Curvio, Irish Amy, Capri Law, Hellcat, our tribe. Hearts wide open, stories shared, holding space because we care. From every corner of the world we climb to spend these nights together, one trial at a time. We're a family in the chat, side by side through every trial. Sweet Pea leads the way with that fire and that smile. Minds and shatters, yeah, this love is something rare. A courtroom crew with hearts beyond compare. No matter what the case or file, we're forever taken to trial. Just Sweet Pea in the mouth and the chat we adore. This isn't just a channel, it's a family. And we couldn't ask for more.